Ghanatube Sunia and some air coso ewo on my new aha and I was ever canning now for snowy my science of asanasi. It is some air co ever edge ever and send a maternal city. Now we will see a quack j and send no edge a bar every for a bar now matwaswamo.
We all know that we have about 70% of our national generation as thermal. And in thermal, the main energy used in thermal is gas. We get about 100 to 110 scarf per day from Ghana Gas. So that's one of our major supplies, which is the gas from Jubilee, which is now treated at Ghana Gas. So every year, Ghana Gas does what you call a yearly routine maintenance. And this is one of the yearly routine maintenance. So there's a complete shutdown of the Ghana Gas plant in Atobo. And basically, the implication is that we are losing about 100 scarf a day in gas supply. There's been a lot of plan that has gone into it, and naturally there should be some outages here and there, but that is augmented with the supply of liquid fuel and also proper planning, especially within this period when the maintenance is being done. The demand, we are the lowest point of demand in our cycle because when the Abuchi people have their winter, Ghana too we get winter. So this is our cold part of the year where most people don't turn on their air conditioning. So we are about 300 to 350 megawatts off in terms of our peak. So this is the best time to undertake such maintenance. So if there's going to be any outages, it's going to be very minimal.
Well, so you say it's going to be minimal. Does it mean that we don't expect to be told that we're having some intermittent power outages because of probably uncertainties?
Well, no. You see, these things, and I've always said this, that look, the ministry is managed. If you manage the sector well, you will be able to get over some of these things. And it's not the first time that maintenance or routine maintenance is being done. If you manage it well, you'll be able to get through the period without any major outages, right? There are going to be outages because it's localized problem. But again, because there are two things going in favor for the sector. We have the low demand on the grid. We've also been able to look at some incremental in our gas supply. We all had ENI basically shutting down and increasing about 30 scarf from ENI. We've got another 30 scarf from Nigeria, which is giving us another from 70 to 100. So in the incremental of gas, we have about 60 gas extra on the supply side, which means that when the 100 from the 100 from Ghana Gas is not coming, you complement that with crude oil to send power. And I'm told that Send Power has enough crude to basically take us through this 15-day period. So like I said, if there's going to be any disruption, it's going to be very minimal.
But what would this minimal disruption look like specific, so that consumers can know exactly what to expect?
Outages. You might get outages here and there, but it wouldn't be for a longer period. Look, if we are taking 100 scarf out of our system, it means that there will be no gas to car power. There will be barely enough gas to most of the plants in Tema, and then there will be no gas at all to the Kumasi enclave. Okay, but like I said, if that is augmented with Send Power coming on, AXA getting some HFO, then in terms of what we need to shed, if we are shedding load, it will be very minimal. I don't have the specifics, but if there is any load to be shed, I don't think it will be huge. Again, you can also zero out the exports during peak hours so that Ghanaians know there is a mandate that Nana Addo put in place when he was president, that whenever there is less supply in the Ghanaian market, we zero out exports and we give the demand, we give the supply to the Ghana market. So even in the peak period where demand might go up, they can zero out the 200 to 300 megawatts going to the export market and give that to the local market. So like I said, if there's going to be any outages, I don't expect it to be very huge for a longer period of time.
Okay.
So Richmond Nelson also joins us now. And Richmond, we want to understand from, well, according to the ministry, this plan, Richmond Roxon, beg your pardon. So according to the ministry, this planned suspension of the gas supply will allow for critical inspections, repairs, and upgrades to enhance the plant's efficiency and reliability. And Kojo was just saying that the impact of that will be minimal. We can expect some outages, but let's hear from you exactly what consumers should do to get ready for this shutdown.
Good morning to you. Good morning to your cherished viewers, and thank you for the opportunity. We're not expecting any load shedding. We're not expecting any interruptions in power supply. This is a scheduled maintenance that the ministry has taken steps to plan carefully. If you notice in the statement, we mentioned that the ministry, led by the Minister Honorable John Shinapo, has approved the request. It is because at the time of taking over the ministry, we noticed that most of the plants had not undergone maintenance. The maintenance had been deferred, some of them to maintenance, and it was threatening our electricity. So the minister said over the past days had steps to plan to ensure that the energy of this country is not threatened. So yes, I do. The minister has approved the request, which is for 15 days, and within the will also be adequate provision to ensure that no load will happen within the period.
You're saying,
but let me come in here. Are you saying that when you took over, the Ghana Gas plant had not gone on maintenance for some time?
When we took over, some of the maintenance had been deferred, and you will also recall that in April we had first maintenance, and we see it across, especially with some of the state-owned institutions and power plants. And so over the period, we've had a lot of maintenance work quietly, and with Akosombo itself, Tiku, Tapu, most of them have undergone maintenance, and we also have scheduled maintenance for some of them later in the year.
But you're not saying their trouble gas had not gone on maintenance since by the time you took over, right?
No, I said that the maintenance had been deferred.
How many maintenance does the plant undergo in a year?
Oh, it depends. That will be detailed information provided by Ghana Gas. So it will depend on the schedule maintenance. Sometimes you have emergency maintenance depending on what the status is. But
because what I know is that this is the planned maintenance the plant undergoes. And last year in August, from I think the 1st to 17th, the plant was shut down for maintenance.
That is so, and that is why I said that when we took over, some of them had been deferred. For example, after that maintenance, quarterly normally they would do a maintenance, but the next one happened this year in April. So we are supposed to do another maintenance after August, and now you move to April. I'm sure that you can do the timeline, and that's why I said that the ministry has steps to ensure that once it is made and it's time, the approval is for these plants to undergo scheduled maintenance to avoid a situation where our security is threatened. But the most important thing here is because of the plans that have been put in place, we are not expecting any load shedding, expecting load management. Other plants will run on wells. So you have HF available, you have diesel, you have LCU available in the period. We are losing 5 cubic feet of gas because of this.
We lost a bit of what you said, something about there are just what?
No, I said that plans have been put in place to ensure that alternative wells are made available.
Okay, so what are these?
They are going to lose 95 million standard cubic feet of gas a day because of the shutdown. But we've made HFO available, we've made LCU available, we've made diesel available for other thermal plants to produce power to make up for the deficit. In fact, what the provision we made far exceeds what we are losing. And recall that about 3-4 weeks ago, we had the maintenance DLI, which gas supply from 200 mm to 200 mm SCAF.
You have to take that again, please. 200 what? It's just, sorry, maybe you can reposition yourself. We're losing bits of your submission.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I want the correct figures again.
Okay. So about 3-4 weeks ago, E&I undertook their upgrade, which increased gas supply from 240 million standard cubic feet to 270 million standard cubic feet. This time, we're losing 95 mm SCAF or 95 million standard cubic feet, which is about 40% of what we lost that day. But even that day, we didn't have any load shedding. You remember that people went to town to christen that National Doomsday Day, but the lights were on. And that goes a long way to attest to the work that has been done by the Minister responsible for Energy, Honorable John Junapon, with the support of the President.
So this is where you're inferring that confidence that there will be no power outages, like Kojo is saying?
No, there will be no power outages. Because, one, this is way less than what we experienced 3 weeks ago. Number two, it has to do with the plans that have been put in place. If you've made adequate provision, if you've planned carefully for those maintenance, you are confident that you wouldn't expect any interruption in power supply or any load shedding. And let me take the opportunity to also say that even before that, anytime your light goes off as a consumer, we will encourage you to call 0302 611 611, which is ECG's helpline. Immediately your light plays the call, you report it, they will give you a code, they will take your details, a team will be sent to you. Because over the period, one thing we've noticed that because of past experiences, it looks like anytime the light goes off, people assume it is load shedding. But we haven't been shedding load in a long time. At the time this government took over, we're shedding load of 700 megawatts. That's the data from GRICO for December 2024. That has not been the case. Yes, we are shedding 0 load as of today. No load shedding at all. It's been just way for months. So we expect everybody's power to be on at all times. We expect you to have stable supply of electricity. So immediately your light goes off, just call ECG's customer service. They will come and check the fault, whatever it is, they will address it, and then you get your power restored.
What exactly is going into this maintenance? Are we looking at upgrading some of our systems? Can you give us some details in terms of what exactly is happening behind those doors?
I'll just summarize it. There's some upgrades, there are some changes, there are some retrofitting. The goal is to be able to enhance the operational capacity of Ghana Gas.
Yeah, kwaje ensem no aba obetimi eja comment comment section down me mejebre na makenkan ni na awon mo amodofo Snowy and abetina say ensem no ebre no aha Ghanatube so sisi ade makram.